We're learning Perik Aleph Halacha Ches and Chometz Matzah. The Rambam starts off also le'achol chometz v'yim arba also mechatzos yom alamala. It's forbidden to eat it, which means from the shor shvius, the seventh hour, because the end of the 6 hours is, if your day is divided up evenly into 12 hours, half is in the first six and half is in the second six. And we'll go down now to the Pirush. In the Pirush, we're going to learn where we learn Yisach Chometz after Chatzos on Erev Pesach, and what's the din is does he get Malkis, and whether if somebody's Mekadosh with a woman with Chometz after Chatzos Erev Pesach, was she's Mekudeshes, and if it's also Mano after Chatzos. So the Rambam we just read was also le'achol chometz v'yim also ma'atos yom l'malo she mitchilas shah shvius b'yoyim, and we explained why it's divided up into 12 hours, and the beginning of the seventh hour would be on our clocks from if the day starts at 6, it would be from the hour of 12 to the hour of 1. Chometz Bizman Hazeh, if somebody eats chometz today in Yudalid, loikim in Torah. The Rambam says you get malchus. Shenema, it says in Dvorim Tezayin Gimel, Taisoichal olav chometz. Olav meaning claim al korban Pesach. When you may bring the korban Pesach, you can have chometz. The Kach Lamdim B'Yashmur. This is a Kabbalah they had of the oral tradition. Torah B'Shaval Peh. Beferish Dover Zeh. And lo yisechel chometz b'shah sheruya l'shchitas haPesach. You're not allowed to eat chometz from the time that you could technically bring a korban Pesach shu bein arbaim, which is in the afternoon, which is from actually exactly midday. According to the Rambam, there's a special that from Chatzos Hayom you get Malchus, and he counts it in Sefer HaMitzvahs. Loizu b'nifrad me'achlav sheloi soichel chometz. He says that this lav is separate from the lav of lo soichel chometz, and we find because by chometz and Pesach there's an inyan of chorus, not only an inyan of malchus. Then the Ravid here disagrees immediately, and he writes, he's loike malchus mechatzos ve'elach enem mechuv. It's not correct to say he gets malchus if he eats after chatzos. Why? The Kivin the Kaimalon we learned in Psochim 28b, Rab Shimon, Belivnei Zmanoi ve'aras Zmanoi leidor shianach kro, that before this time and after the time he does not learn these psukim, like the psukim of loiseichlu, to say that chometz before Pesach and after v'achas after Pesach is chayiv, and even though the also b'achilo, it's also not Torah, because we have a pasuk that says v'yem tashbizu so'er, that you have to get rid of chometz from so'er means yeast, and chometz from erev Pesach, or miloi sishchat al chometz dam zivchi. Rabbi, like Rabbi says, there's no Isar no of Pesach lekem and Torah. Malchus nami leso. So the Rabbi says there's no Malchus. Now we go down further to the Rab Shimon. We paskin like Rab Shimon. The question is, why does the Rambam paskin over here that you get Malchus? The Maggid Mishnah wants to explain how the law is Rab Shimon, because Tamas Nisan Kamoisu. That there's no Isra B'Natura to eat chometz after Pesach. It's only Minarabonon, and not like Rabbi Yehuda who learns it from our posik. However, erev Pesach, that we don't have a Stam Mishnah Rabbi Shimon, so there's a klal that whenever Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon disagree, halacha is Rabbi Yehuda. Therefore, the Rambam, according to the Maggid Mishnah, paskins like Rabbi Yehuda B'Yudal B'Nissen that there is a lav. Maybe a Maggid Mishnah, he brings a raya that before this manoid Allah is Rabbi Yehuda, meaning erev Pesach, because Rabbi, even though he passes like Rab Shimon, says shechometz erev Pesach mishoshishes also from the pasuk lo yisishchat al chometz dam zivchi. So it would seem that halacha Rab Shimon is only the Gabi chometz after Pesach, but chometz, and there the Rambam paskins Rab Shimon, that's only also minara bonon. Maggid Mishnah brings down the Goenim's statement that before Erev Pesach, the halach is Rabbi Yehuda. They paskin the after Chatzos and Erev Pesach chometz is also ba'no. Why? Because also to the Das HaGoinim it's issue the rise like Rabbi Yehuda, but the Raven and other Mefoshim hold that halach is Rab Shimon both before Pesach, meaning Erev Pesach, and after Pesach. And there is no Issa Belav, and you only get Malchus for a Lav. But there is a positive commandment to get rid of Chometz, so it says, because it says Tashbisu. The Agoris HaRamach questions the Rambam. It would seem that he's passing like Rab Shimon after Pesach and Rab Yehuda before Pesach. How does he split that up? In Sefer HaMitzvahs, the Rambam writes, we were commanded from eating Chometz after Chatzos, so the 14th of Nisan. And this is found in Leiser Olav Chometz. And Olav is referring to the sheep of Pesach that's brought as a korban. That you have to bring it from the 12 o'clock from Chatzos, and from the time that one can slaughter the chometz, the korban Pesach, you cannot have chometz. In Psochim, as we said in 28b, it says, how do you know that from the 6th hour it's a loisesa? Because it says loisech olav chometz. And there, everyone says chometz v'shei shoyes is the Iraisa, and that's the way it would seem to be according to everyone. And therefore, the Rambam says Yeloike. The Ramban questions this, that the Gemara statement that you eat if you eat chometz from 6 hours and further, you're over on loisech olav chometz, is Rabbi Yehuda saying it, but Rabbi Shimon doesn't say that. And how can you say that? Because it says Shivas Yom Techol Olav Matzah. That only time, it would seem according to Rabbi Shimon, that the only time that you're forbidden to eat chometz is when you have an obligation to eat matzah. But when there's no chiv to eat matzah, there's no isur of chometz. And halach is like Rabbi Shimon. That's why the Ravid in the Ramban is mentioning here that questioning why there should be a lav. Yerushalmi is brought that according to Rabbi Yehuda, Olav is talking about the time of slaughtering. Rabbi Shimon, Olav is talking about the actual eating of the Pesach, which would be at night, not from the 6th hour. What the Rambam brings from the Gemara, that from the 6th hour it's the Raisa, the Ramban says that's only the obligation to destroy it, as we said, Tashbisu, that you have to get rid of it. But there's no Isur Achila. The Ramban holds that you don't count this as a lav alichinas chometz achashei shoyes erev Pesach in the meaning of Taryag mitzvahs. Now, there's a machlokes of the Rishonim if somebody would be mekadosh an issue with chometz after Chatzos erev Pesach. The Rif writes, Amar Rav, he says that Rav said, "Mekadosh isha b'chometz b'shei shoyes v'malo." If somebody sanctifies, is mekadosh an isha, betroths a woman from the 6th hour and further, even bechitik or naisa, meaning chometz, wheat which might have become chometz, you still don't have any kedushin, because also ba'anoah. The Baal HaMoyer there states that the Riv Psak you can't rely on, because he's passing like Rabbi Yehuda. The chometz from the 6th hour is also, but we don't pass that way, only Rabbi Shimon. And therefore he comes into the same question. If according to Rabbi Shimon erev Pesach it's not also ba'ano, then the kedushin should be chal, and the kedushin should be chal. And midrabanan they said you have to get rid of it. You can't have it because even today when we don't have a korban, because of maybe you'll come to eat it. So therefore you should have to worry about the kedushin, that it did take effect. Because something that's not also ba'ano has a value. However, the Ramban argues that there's nothing in the Torah that you have to destroy and be rid of, and it should be allowed to be eaten. And there's an ism in the Torah to eat chometz after Chatzos, and you learn it from the mitzvah of Ashbosa. Just that, according to Rabbi Shimon, is no isa no, because it doesn't say beferish isa achilos is tashbisu, be rid of it. The Rabbanon it's also ba'ano, maybe you'll eat it. And therefore, we know that every kedushin is al da, as we say in the Hayim Mekadesh Li, Kedas Moshe v'Yisrael, and the Chacham said it has no value. Therefore, there's no kedushin. The Raven, we don't know what's the reason there's an Isra Chometz Ba'ano after the 6th hour. Here in the Hasoga, he writes, there's no Lekem Minat Torah. That the Isra Ba'ano is not Minat Torah, it's only Minat Rabbanon. Whereas, on the Baal HaMoyer, that after Sheish v'itz Chometz, the Baal HaMoyer states in an enigmatic statement, it's as if he has gotten rid of it. The Ravid says that this cannot be. One cannot say that eating something, Chometz Erev Pesach, will be destroying it or getting rid of it. And he writes further that according to Rav Shimon, even if we'll say that it's also Ba'ano, it's only Min Rabbanon, we should have learned 6 hours from the 6 hours of Rabbi Yehuda. It's in the Rabbanon. Therefore, the Kedushin is not a Kedushin. Meaning, that would seem that after the 6th hour, it's also Min Torah, since it's a chiyuv to get rid of the chometz, and it's forbidden to benefit from it. And we will continue with Halacha Tes, Emiyas Hashem, in the next Shir.